2020?
Like a lot of people, I thought 2020 was going to be my year. Now, I know we say this every year because somehow the Earth going back to its hypothetical starting point would also mean a collective starting point for us. But for me, 2020 was really supposed to be my year. 2020 was the year I would finally open my own design studio. The year I was going to start my own business. The year I was gonna be a consistent YouTuber. And the year I turned 25. The year that I was going to finally find myself after years of feeling so lost. But life had other plans. "2020 started out pretty bleak for me. So I guess this is Steph at 25. Either you feel the pain of staying where you are or you feel the pain of moving. I just thought I'd be somebody by now, you know? Ah, shit. I'm so old. And I'm so lost. I did a video rant of my thoughts when I turned 25. I don't know why, but I'm glad I did. Because it was only then I saw how far I've gone from being that old version of me. But I'm getting ahead of myself. 2020 Q1 was like the Act 1. The setup was perfect. Spunky millennial with a sprinkle of issues quits her corporate job to discover what she really wants to do in her life. Hilarity ensues. But what was the turning point that would pull us into the main action of this story? I think everyone knows what happened in 2020. I still remember that the first day of quarantine was Friday the 13th. But at that time, no one could have guessed just how bad it would be. And so, this is where the first act closes. At first, I naively thought quarantine was great. I saw it as a break from everything. Remember when we had summer breaks for school? It felt like a break from life. I started drawing on my iPad as a way to pass time, and it helped my anxiety a lot. But I was running away from responsibilities.
I guess I'm recording this kasi parang feeling ko I'm gonna go on a very sad rant, and I want a record of this sad piece of shit because I'm never gonna see her again after this call. Hopefully.
This is a crucial moment in paano ba ito sabihin? In a coming of age film. And by coming of age, I mean quarter life age. I'm sick of coming of age movies na parang teenager. It's not when you come of age. It's like way late.
I don't know eh. Alam mo yun? It's all very... Alam mo yun what's wrong with me? Kasi parang... I don't know, yun lang, what's wrong with me, I guess. Which syempre you don't know, pero parang, I don't know.
I mean, I felt that way also a couple of weeks back. Slowly now that I got my groove back, and I realized that parang, shit, you know what? I'm moving like 2-3 times slower than my usual self. Kasi sabi nga nandun sa Maslow's hierarchy of need or whatever. The second one is safety. So at this point of time with the pandemic and the recession that we feel that's going on, and this fucking year of 2020 where nobody can catch a fucking break, honestly, how does somebody properly deal with the pandemic? There's no proper way to deal with it. Everybody's kind of just here, panicking inside. I don't know, man. I feel like you're doing your best, and honestly, that's the most you could ask of anybody.
I was so hard on myself. Because who else could be at fault for my own shortcomings but myself? But I forgot that I was in the middle of a world crisis. Suddenly, the future seemed out of grasp. Suddenly, no one knows what's next. What's the point? And it began to sink in that this was the new normal. We can't go back to how we were before. I've always had this pseudo-nihilistic point of view in life. I easily accepted things as they were, and I thought that was a great attribute. But I think I just didn't have the courage to change things, even when I know I can. It was always easier to give up rather than to hope. The path of least resistance has less pain, but also nothing to gain. It took a while for me to realize that if I'm so broken up over the choices I didn't make, maybe it's time to make those choices. It can't be any worse than this, which is a pretty bad way of looking at things, but that, and thanks to all the good people surrounding me, believing in me more than I believe in myself, I was able to get back on track. I tried keto, I was working out thrice a week, I was getting back into my groove. This was the new Steph. And I pushed all my efforts into the startups I was making. Because it's been 4 months since I finished the design for my last renovation project, and I gave myself a deadline that if I haven't gotten a next architectural design project by June, I would apply to a firm once again. Sometimes I wonder with architecture, do I love the work or the idea of the craft? I feel like a big problem with career choices is that we are asked what we want to become and not what we want to do. But I wouldn't know how to answer the latter question either anyway.
Where am I? And I don't know, parang I don't feel really great at all. I guess maybe that's why I haven't sent the resume, because I don't feel amazing. You're supposed to disagree with me. You're supposed to say I'm amazing. Bitch. This week has been kind of depressing din kasi parang I just feel like I'm not making anyone proud of where I am. But I'm in the middle of everything, and I don't know, I'm not even making myself proud, and that's like the most important thing. And yun nga, parang I feel like a failure as an architect. I feel like a failure as a... But do you ever feel like your sketches are better? Like if what you're doing is a drawing, your sketches are better, and then the more you refine it, the more stupid it looks. And then when you color it, fuck, why did I think this was such a great sketch?
All the time.
I know that good things take time, pero I don't know. It's full of I don't know really. Like I don't know why I'm recording this. Like is this for a documentary? Like Steph, quarantine.
Oo. Parang hindi mo na kailangan mag-wonder kasi you've tried it and you've tested it. It didn't work out. So now you move on to the next one.
So with no design projects coming in, I was thinking of social media as a career. I was already doing the whole branding and creative directions for the startups I was trying to make. Then I became the social media manager for a certain brand, all from the comfort of my own home. So I made a branding and graphic design portfolio thinking that maybe this is the next chapter of my career. But life had another plot twist coming. My business partner decided not to push through with our startup 2 weeks from our set launch date, and I didn't know how to do it on my own. I felt like I failed. It was a year of hard work, and it ended even before it could begin. I had been telling my friends about this secret project I had, and now I felt like I had nothing to show for the year. What was all my suffering for, if not to show somebody that, hey, I made it out of 2020 alive with this. But instead of letting it overwhelm me, I decided to use it as a fuel to better myself. It's kind of funny how life delivered what was meant for me in a random Instagram story I saw on the day my startup ended. Very poetic life, very poetic. As cliche as it sounds, when one door closes, so many more truly open. I got a better job offer that had everything I wanted and more. It was a combination of work I enjoyed doing, opportunities I wanted to try, and autonomy over my own designs. 3 months in, and I still feel the same. At that time, it seemed too good to be true, a deus ex machina to my 2020. But then I realized that maybe these things aren't too good to be true. Maybe good just isn't as out of grasp as I make it out to be. Me and Rom went to Laguna for a project, and I remember telling him all about this job, and I say, but wait, it gets better. And he looks over at me surprised, saying, that's a first. Because whenever I told my story, it always went like, but wait, it gets worse. I used to think that optimistic people were kinda liars trying to pull everyone to support their delusions. But now I realize that maybe I was never optimistic because I felt that somehow I didn't deserve happiness. I didn't deserve the good things in life. But we deserve everything. I guess if I could sum up 2020, it would be clarity. Without the pretense of daily life, you see things as they clearly are. You thought you needed wings to fly, but you just needed to let go of some weight in order to feel lighter. And you realize that what's meant for you will be yours. You see the long winding path that led you to where you are now, and you wish that you could tell your past self that there is light at the end of the road, even if you didn't see even a glimmer of it back then. To Steph of February 2020, it gets better. It always does. But no one is victimless in this pandemic. Some things fell apart not by action but by revelation of the cracks it had already had. Circles have gotten smaller, but some friends you thought were seasonal turned out to be evergreen. All that's meant to stay, find a way to anyway. But you know what? The most ironic thing about my 2020 was how it all wrapped up neatly. Like a 3-act plot structure with a perfect season finale, leaving you wanting for more. I can't wait for 2021.
So, to the future Stephs, I hope I'm not too depressing, and I hope you'll be happier. I hope I'll be happier when I'm old.